Welcome to the NBA playoff edition of More Than a Game podcast. I'm your host, Tim Wilshire. Midlife crisis day today, 45, and here with the great Andre Moore. Welcome along to the podcast, Andre.
Greetings, my man Tim. How you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic. And as what we do at the start of every podcast, we pay our tributes to the owners of the traditional land, wherever you may be, in Australia, around the world, New Zealand, everywhere. So
Without,
that
without a
is,
doubt.
yeah. So we've got a video that we're gonna look at later on that you've showed through, that you've sent through. So we'll have a bit of a chat about that and a bit of it. I'd like to hear a little bit, a couple of stories maybe from, I guess, your trip out into the communities in
Yeah, Cape York region. I was just
Cape,
recently
so that's a fair way north, Cape
Yeah,
York region, etc. So looking forward to hearing a bit about that. Um, so let's just have a look at what we've got in store for today's episode. Where the playoffs have just started. Every team has played one game. I don't know if you've probably caught all the game ones. Um,
pretty much all of them except for they didn't really televise the Lakers Grizzlies game, but I've actually seen a bit of them on YouTube, some
hmm.
replays and all that about it. So yeah,
So they're
that
two of
was
the candidates for the MVP award, the Joker and Bede, both in different conferences there. Um,
pick the
so
guy, pick the guy on my left, my immediate left may edge out the Joker. Yeah.
I think Embiid will get it this year, but we'll see. It hasn't been announced. But before we get to some NBA stuff, what I'd like to probably reflect on is the Sydney Kings winning the NBA NBL finals. That wasn't too long ago.
Not too
It
long.
was great efforts by the Breakers in the NBL finals, and also the Jack Jumpers in the Final Four as well.
Yeah,
And Brisbane, another failed
respect to
season,
both those teams.
unfortunately for our team, mate. But Sydney, just very, very good back-to-back years. Just a great team.
Yeah, just well coached. Great personnel. They reloaded from the previous year
Yep.
and brought in that some great imports, in particular Derek Walton Jr.
Yeah.
Fantastic point guard who reminds me a lot of little guy I played with in college, Carl Go Ghosted, who's our point guard. They look alike physically, and they also play alike. It's
Mm.
really eerie when I watched little D. Walton Jr. this year. Watch the way he herky jerky moves, and I think he might have a slight um, advantage over my Carl Ghostin from Loyola Chicago
Mm.
University, just on height wise. But man, yeah, just two great players. And they really reloaded, and Sydney Kings get a lot of credit. Their coach, forget what's his surname. His dad's the general manager for the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh yeah.
Buford, yeah, Buford, yeah.
Buford, that's it. Yeah.
He did a great job, and and then shout out to, of course, to the star player and the MVP for the NBL this year, Xavier Cooks, who's now over. Well, he was able to go over to Washington and ply his trade for a couple games with them before. He played well too. I watched him on a couple games with the Wizards.
He's a good player.
He came in. I was a bit doubtful about how he would actually how his game would translate from here to over there. But man, energy guy,
Mm.
bouncy, same sort of attributes he brought to the Kings into our league. He's bringing over to the NBA. I mean, to the NBA, and I wish him a lot of luck because I'm good friends with his dad, Eric Cooks, who's also a great player. And Xavier just comes across as a really nice young man, as well as a hard worker and a good leader. Yeah,
Good stuff. That's
yeah.
awesome. Okay, so I don't know if you know this. We've got some news just at hand. Some news just at hand, Andre. I don't know. You probably don't know this because it's only just been announced.
Okay.
So unless you've been looking on the socials in the last 20 minutes, you probably don't know this news.
Okay, hit me with it. Suck it to me.
The Defensive Player of the Year has been announced. Do you have a prediction?
Did I get the? I won it. Did I win the award?
So no. So did Defensive Player of the Year? Who do you reckon?
Oh, for the NBA?
Yeah.
I gotta go with Triple J in Memphis.
Triple J in Memphis
Yeah.
wins the Defensive Player of the Year there.
Ah, yeah, man, that dude, boy. I am not surprised, man. Who were some of the other candidates? Let me
So the
guess
other
who
two
some.
candidates, there was Brook Lopez. What a great year Brook
Oh yeah, he had
Lopez
a great
had.
year. Big fella, yeah, big fella was he was a monster defensively this year.
And also he averaged 19 points a game after the All-Star break. He was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Maybe a little bit surprising, only his second year in the league, but Evan Mobley, a great defender, um,
oh yeah,
was the
yeah.
other third, who came probably third if you call it that. But he's very impressive to be able to be ahead of all these other defensive juggernauts like an AD who's really good at defense.
Yeah,
Guys
he
like
could have
Giannis, guys like uh, Gobert, who's won it before, but he's had a bit of a down year, as we know. But
right. He should be in a boxing ring, huh?
and last year, if you remember, it was Marcus Smart from Boston who won the award. So
Yeah, it
um,
was the first time a guard had won it in a while, was it?
yeah,
Well, Marcus won it last year, yeah.
yeah. So the battle of the East. I mean, the East is very tight. I think the you got Milwaukee, you've got Boston, you've got Philadelphia, you've also got the Cleveland versus New York series as well. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it could be anyone can come out at the moment. Giannis, did you see the what happened yesterday with Giannis in the that sort of
No, but I heard about it. Yeah, very unfortunate. I'm a big fan of the Greek Freak, and yeah, he went down. I think it's a back contusion. Contusion in his back.
yeah
Must have fell awkwardly or something. I didn't see the actual play, but I heard about it. I
yeah
watched it, and I watched the dying minutes of that game, and Jimmy Butler was just sort of just taking over in his absence. I
mm,
mean, Jimmy Butler would have got off even with him on the floor too. So I'm gonna give Jimmy his flowers. That dude can ball.
mm.
But without the Greek Freak, he's their engine. He's their leader. So it was pretty tough call for the Drew Holiday and the boys.
Yeah, I think he'd be okay for the next game. We'll
That's what I
certainly
heard.
we'll certainly see, but I think he'd be okay. Um, but yeah,
Hopefully,
all the best. Hopefully he's okay. And there's a few other injury problems and worries. Tyler Hero won't be able to play for the rest of the playoffs.
yeah. How do you break his fingers? He broke
He
his
broke
middle
his
finger and his ring finger.
yeah, definitely. He's
What happened?
yeah. I think I'm just trying to remember. I was watching some of the game yesterday, and he basically he heard it. He actually hit a 3-pointer after he'd done the injury. He still hit a 3-pointer, and then he went
Okay.
out and then he was gone for the rest of the game. So
Hmm.
I remember that. But yeah, no, he's definitely it's certainly a bit of an issue. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Talking 4 weeks, I think, of recovery for that. We have for
yeah,
that.
well, 4 weeks, which I think pretty much takes you out of the playoffs, unfortunately for
That's it.
Tyler. And Miami
Provided they
looked
don't advance. They advance.
And
In the
Miami looked
final.
great. Miami looked great in game one. They stole game one off Milwaukee, and Miami know Milwaukee quite well, so it's an interesting series now, I think. But
Yeah,
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 the Hero will certainly be a big loss for them. But they obviously have to rely on Bam's got to really play a lot better on the offensive end.
yeah. He
Um,
was hitting his little pull up jumper, up from the free throw line extended. He just masters that little jump shot. Beautiful
yeah,
little shot.
yeah, he just needs to be a bit more confident. I think he's just. I mean, he was named an All Star this year. So he should be certainly a lot more confident. But Miami has certainly got a chance. They've taken game one, so anything can happen in that series now.
Oh yeah,
But and I think they're a good enough team that it will go 6 or 7 anyway. So
yeah,
no doubt about that. Miami posing some threats there, even though they lost to Atlanta in that game. They were yeah. I mean,
yeah.
obviously Atlanta have got a tough series against Boston. I think Boston should get through that one.
Yeah, and
Um,
back to Miami though. Let's give a shout out to the heart and soul of that organization who'll be retiring after the season. UD Udonis Haslam,
yep.
who's been the bodyguard for the team, the bodyguard for the coaches, the players. Just he's a Miami boy throughout, through and throughout. because he's born and raised there, and now he's playing professionally. I think he played college ball there. So, man, big shout out to him, man. He's had a heck of a career and been a great ambassador for that organization, the Heat. So, shout out to you, D.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then what about New York and Cleveland? That's an interesting
Ooh,
series.
yes.
I do like how New York look.
Oh my God.
I think Cleveland's problem is their depth, and I
Now,
don't.
yeah, they were right there with him. You know, it was a good, it's going to be a good series.
Mm,
Our guy, the guys who be probably the people that would be feeling really sick, right, watching that series or that first game in particular, would be the Dallas Mavericks. How do you let Jalen Brunson slip out of your hands and
mm,
not realize the potential that this young man has? The
yeah,
steely focusedness,
yeah.
the
He just
focus. That's
he's
a
in,
word.
and he's actually a finalist for the most improved player as well.
Oh, most doubt,
Probably
without a
won't.
doubt.
I'd say Laurie probably gets the award. My prediction,
Oh yeah, Lord,
but
Lord.
yeah, Brunson's improved quite a lot. I
Man,
reckon Brunson probably second, probably even in front of SGA. SGA was already a superstar. I thought last,
oh, SGA got game. He got serious game
but
as well too.
he's gone from superstar to extraordinary now. So
I would even give our Aussie fella with
Warwick,
SGA teammate
Josh,
I, I got Josh. Yeah, I would give him a few votes as well too, man. He came on really strong this year too.
he definitely came up strong. First playing game just looked absolutely phenomenal in that
What was the stats
elimination.
there? What was it, 30 points, 31 or
30,
something?
30, 10 and 9 or something like that, just a
Yeah,
39
yeah.
and 10, just in his first, playing experience. And that was just they beat the Pelicans undermanned. And,
Yep.
but, they just had missing Zion and they beat them. So,
That's another
um,
story there too. Zion, man, with that
another,
weight problem. You know, that
another
weight problem.
disappointing year that's behind. We've had two disappointing years in a row. With Zion and not playing many games. None the
You know
previous
know
year.
what his issue is, right?
Yeah, it's obviously his frame, his weight.
You got that weight problem. You know what I mean by weight problem? He can't wait to eat.
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely he might look ripped here and there, but it doesn't take much to pack it back on. So a
Yeah.
dangerous guy, and I really hope that he can be his potential because he's slipping away from that. Faster than what Ben Simmons is at the moment, but
Oh, another story there too. Yeah, yeah.
he might be back. I don't know. I've got a little bit of faith. I don't think he's completely done yet. Simmons, I think
Oh,
he's.
Simmons, your faith in Simmons?
I've got faith. I've seen enough flashes this year to know that he can get there. I just think he just got to find. Hopefully, the
Like
Nets are the right spot for him. They'll give him another chance next year, and if it doesn't work out, then they'll obviously part ways, perhaps. But
yeah.
I think they'll give him one more chance. I mean, the Nets certainly a completely different roster to how we saw them when we last did the podcast. When we last did a podcast, they had Durant, they had Irving,
Yeah.
they had all these players, and now they've got being led the way by
Hell,
Mikal Bridges is leading the way now in scoring.
Dinwiddie and his little beef he
I
has
do
with
like Dinwiddie. I think that
you
he's a
heard,
fantastic player, underrated. I think.
you heard about his beef with Kuzma?
Yeah. I have I've read about that beef. That is for sure, mate. I have certainly have read about that yeah.
War
Um,
words.
so we haven't. I guess Philadelphia, the other team to talk about. Do you sort of give them a good chance? I mean, as long as everyone's healthy, they've got certainly should have a chance, shouldn't they?
Depends on the small forward, how he comes along. But everybody else is kind of firing on all cylinders. But what's the
Yeah.
small forward for them?
Well, the guy in the Tobias Harris has sort of been a little
Tobias.
bit
Yeah, Tobias.
inconsistent.
He's the guy. He's the
Um,
X.
and
Yeah.
I've noticed also Maxi sort of taken a bit of a backward step lately.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I think he's sort of they're deferring more to Harden, getting generating a lot of he's doing everything Harden, I guess, in that backcourt. Um,
mm-hmm.
so I think Maxi's a great player, and he does need to step up in the playoffs, and it is an opportunity to step up. But they've also got Milton, who's been playing well,
Yeah.
DeAndre Milton. A young little kid that I've seen. I think he'll be good one day, but he's only 19 or 20. Jaden Springer. I think he's going to be really good one day.
Oh yeah, yeah, I like that kid Springer.
Yeah, so he's just a very good defender as well. One of these types that could have a good future. I sort of did take him in a draft a couple of years ago, but he's certainly maybe one to watch. So that's the East. I think we've sort of, and the Bulls obviously, unfortunately, they did win a game and they obviously lost to a great Miami Heat team, but at least they came through. They beat Toronto.
Yeah, yeah.
I think your mate keeps wanting to get rid of Vooch. That Eddie Fatty Cox. He's
yeah. He'd be hard. He's hard on Booch there, man. But
yeah.
I like Booch. He's quiet. He quietly goes along and does his thing, man. But he probably wouldn't make a better backups center.
Well, just your thought on lineups, because a lot of these teams these days are coming in with really just a guy in the middle and basically four wing players. It just seems to be very common that teams just don't have power forwards anymore. Chicago had DeRozan, Levine, Caruso, and Beverly all starting. Miami is putting Butler, Strus, Hero, and Vincent with Adebayo. So, what do you think of this? Is this the way the NBA is going to look from now on, where you just got four wing players and a center, or?
For the immediate future, yeah, everybody's playing small ball. Just it's trend. The league, like everything in life, is very trendy. The trend will last for only so long, and this guy with with guys like Wembanyama coming in next year, he may change the league to they might go another direction trend wise because he's definitely a game changer.
Yeah,
Once a lifetime player. So we're looking forward to see how he comes in and does his thing. Have you seen that highlight of him where he shoots that jump shot? Wait, he jukes the guy Kyrie Irving style, and then pulls up for the three, misses it, follows up his own shot with a tomahawk slam.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful highlights I've ever seen from a guy, especially a guy that size. He's amazing. Yeah, he's amazing. But
yeah, okay. What else have I got?
Like other players like LeBron and Kareem, who are prep sensations. Hopefully he'll follow in their suits and live up to his hype. Yeah, live up to that hype.
Yeah, so that's a bit of the Eastern standings there. I think we know pretty much what's going on there. We've spoken about most of those teams in pretty good detail. The West,
wide open. Yeah, it's wide open.
Yeah, the West is also pretty wide open. I mean, so we've got obviously the Kings and the Warriors in a series at the moment.
Yeah, game one was quite exciting.
How good was that? I didn't give that away to you, man. That was exciting, and that guy there on the left played his best ever game, probably of his career. He's probably an All NBA sort of level player at the moment. He's
had the opposite Hercules effect. When they cut the whole story about Hercules is when they cut his hair off, he lost his strength and his magical powers.
Yeah,
he cut his hair off, and it was opposite. He became even more effective because remember he's had a big old fro, DeAndre Fox.
Yeah, he did. I remember it was sort of nearly not quite like Jar's hair there, but reminiscent a bit. He had the longest.
Yeah.
But he sort of dialed down and
lightning quick. This dude, DeAndre, and smart player. Really, really good player. I really, really enjoyed watching him the other day.
Just on that particular game, I did yesterday. Late yesterday, I listened. It was about 10 or 15 minutes ago. So it was Draymond Green's podcast of the after game one. So, have you sat down and listened to one of his podcasts before?
I've listened to little excerpts, of his podcast.
So he said they've got to, they've obviously got to contain Fox and Monk. They're the two guys that they need to stop in game two if they're going to sort of come back and do.
What does Draymond have to say? in
Yeah,
regards to game.
obviously Fox played really, really well. He said he felt that Golden State did well enough to win the game,
Mm-hmm.
but they still needed to track these guys down, which they weren't doing. They were getting a little bit looser than what they should be.
Well,
Um,
Malik Monk is the guy. He was the
yeah.
factor in this game.
Well,
He
both these
counted.
guys were college teammates.
Right. Kentucky
Um,
boys. I think
so that
Kentucky had
Malik
most.
Monk could have a big series. I think he's a really good player and play a lot of minutes in that series. I think I, I think the Warriors seem to match up well against Sabonis. I think from what I saw, but again, Fox is if he's going to play like that every game, it's gonna be a tough series for Golden State. I think if he's going to
It will.
consistently play that well, they're not going to play guys like Keegan Murray. I don't think it's going to get a lot of minutes. Harrison Barnes, just because he's got a heap of playoff experience, will get his 35 minutes a game. I
How
think,
about
and that's
how about the crowd chant from the when the announcer says when Keegan scores? You seen that? You heard that?
what's
When
that?
Keegan scores, the announcer says Keegan, and then the rest of the whole crowd says Murray.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
It's a
Okay.
really cool little thing, a little chant they do every
Yeah.
time
Well,
it's.
there might be he might have to step up at some point in this series. We don't know because it's a long 7 game series most likely, and he's going to have to they're going to have to rely on him at some point. I think
I think he'll get a shot going. He has a beautiful shot.
he's got a great shot. He'll
Mhm.
probably get a few more minutes in game 2, but we'll see what happens.
For sure.
Monk,
Like you pointed out, Sabonis didn't even have his best offensive game.
no, I think they contained him. I said Looney and Green did a great job on him. I think
Yeah, I don't think that'll last the whole series though. I think
nah, but
he's a
again,
smart player.
it's the
Smart.
other end. I think the people talk about Sacramento's defense being one of their weaknesses. So we'll see how that all goes. It's a very
Yeah.
interesting series, nonetheless. Really,
Shout out to
really
Mike
excited.
Brown too, the former Warriors coach, former
We'll get the coach of the year, I
Cleveland
reckon.
coach.
Yeah, I
Yeah, he's
think
coach of the year. Mike Brown,
he's
my
locked
man,
it. Yeah, I think that's locked
brother
in.
man, brother man.
Yeah, yeah. Lakers and Grizzlies. What do you reckon? Lakers steal game 1.
Yeah, I think they I think Lakers in 6. I'm gonna go Lakers in 6 in that
So I think
series.
which means they'll play the winner of that Sacramento versus Golden State series. That's
Yeah.
what's waiting for the Lakers.
The basketball heavens have opened up for the Lakers. You know, they've been lucky. There's been a lot of series. I mean, a lot of situations that have happened that are making their path
Mm.
to the finals quite not super easy, but quite easy. You know, with the first series versus the playing game
Mm.
versus who was at the playing game the other day.
The Lakers beat. I think it was the Pelicans. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was Minnesota. Sorry.
This was a couple days ago. We're showing our age here, man.
Yeah,
Lakers beat in the playing game. They played
Minnesota. Yeah,
Minnesota, right, Minnesota, without Gobert and the kid who inexplicably punched the wall, thinking he was
Jada McDaniels. Yeah.
and broke his hand because he was actually a pretty good defender with on LeBron.
Mm.
So they've had that happen, and now in this series here, you know, you got no um, big fella from New Zealand. You got no Adam
Yeah. So Adams and Clark, as I said, the two guys.
Clark, the energy guy. Yeah,
Those
those are
two
two.
guys, a lot of energy, a lot of defense, and
Both of them. Yeah,
as I
yeah.
said,
So
the defensive player of the year, Jaron Jackson Jr. will have his hands as full as it can be, but
right.
he's going to get a few blocks a game. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, just hope Jar is okay. I think that was an awkward fall, but I think he should be okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm just
hoping.
glad. I'm so glad he's got to put all that personal stuff
But
behind
but
him as well
but
too. You know?
obviously, we keep joking about this guy, but yet he's the best game of his career, pretty much. Hachimura.
Yeah. You got Hutchie. Yeah, he went to work, man. Yeah, I got love for Rui, man. You ain't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
feeling
I
it,
think
you
I
know.
think he's nearly winning me over. That was just a clutch game. It was
Yeah,
he didn't take a backward step. Every shot was confident and went in. A couple of power dunks. He looked as good as he could ever look, and I'm glad he got the opportunity to show that.
yeah. He's a hell of a. I would call him a blackanese. He's black. Like American,
Like
but
it,
he's from Japan, right? Yeah.
yeah, he's got a bit of a tan for a
Yeah.
yeah guy from there. But
Oh,
yeah, but
well,
Austin Reeves looked fantastic. D'Lo looked great. I mean,
oh,
these guys stepped up.
AR-15. You talking about Austin Reeves? The kid is growing. His legend is really growing big time. He's kind of he's got made everyone in LA forget about see, I already forgot about him already.
LeBron,
Uh, uh, um, the Caruso show.
Caruso,
The Caruso show.
yeah.
Yeah, he got game. Yeah,
You got to remember this is only his second year in the league. That's the scary thing with someone like Austin Reeves. You know,
they would call him Hillbilly Kobe too. I think that's what the other names. I prefer AR-15. I'll go with AR-15 over Hillbilly Kobe. Rest in
yeah.
peace.
I mean, this other series has got me really fascinated. This Clippers versus Phoenix series. This is I'm going to watch every game. Like I'm not going to miss a minute of that series. I think it's so compelling watching to see how Westbrook sort of shaped up against Durant yesterday.
I know, man, he played well, man. It's amazing what a change of scenery can do for you.
Just
His change of scenery was
I
just
mean,
basically just down the corridor, going
like
to the Clippers, LA the Clippers.
the defensive intensity. I just can't remember seeing this sort of defensive intensity when he was in the Lakers or even anywhere at
Yeah.
Washington or anywhere. I
Just
mean,
wasn't a good fit. Wasn't a good fit, man. But
just the intensity, just being able to put him in there in crunch time and shut guys like Devin Booker down.
right.
Amazing, just amazing.
He
And even though he
basically
shot 3 out of 19 or
shot.
whatever, it doesn't matter when he was there right at the end of the game, playing the crunch minutes, making the plays.
Made the play of the game with that block on Booker, and
And then he
then
blocked Durant
saved the
another
ball.
time.
Then and then knocked the ball off of him, out of bounds. That was a hell of
Yeah.
a play. So much respect and much love for Westbrook and how he's mentally got himself back on track. So
Mm,
quickly after that stint in L.A., which didn't really work out as well as he would have hoped for. But
mm,
you got to give him a lot of love, a lot of respect, man. He's in the same. He's still in. He's got the best of both worlds. He's still in the same city that grew up in L.A. Just playing for the Clippers.
mm.
But it's a shot. Hopefully, a shot to come along. But hey, but my guy is the cyborg, Kawhi.
Oh,
He got Kawhi in playoff mode right now. That's pretty serious as well too.
yeah. I mean, and Paul
Man,
George is meant to come back in this series. I know he sort of complained a bit about the way the series was. There wasn't like any sort of 3 day sort of breaks. It was just like every game's like 2 days. I think for that series, there's not the really fast pacing. And I think I read that he complained about the series.
with the way it's been scheduled.
Yeah, the schedule. I think yeah. I'm not sure when he'll be back. I'm not. I don't know exactly, but I assume that he's probably going to be back sometime in this series.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so he's going to be another X factor as well because he's just automatic instant offense. Another guy
Oh,
that Phoenix have got to guard. I think Phoenix is showing that there's a little bit of, there's maybe some slight weaknesses on the defensive end with some of these players. I'm not going to name names, but they need to step up if they're going to beat the Clippers. They need to shut them
yeah.
down defensively.
Right.
Um,
Campaign is a big loss for them as well too.
yeah, he's a big loss. Means a lot
Yeah.
more minutes for the aging sort of Chris Paul,
Right.
who's had his years being a great defender, but as you get older, it just becomes a lot harder
Exactly. Yeah.
to keep these guys in front of you. I think we saw Terrence Mann's going to play a lot of minutes in this series. I think unless PG comes back until he does, because he played really well too at times defending Chris Paul, making it hard for him.
Right. Right.
Fascinating series. KD is going to get his points. He's going to get all those sort of things. He had a lot of assists too yesterday. I think he had
Yeah, he would drop some nice dimes. Yeah,
maybe it was a triple double. I'd have to have a check the stats, but I think he may have had a triple double yesterday. It was
come close. Yeah.
yeah, certainly he had 10 plus assists, which usually means you would get a triple double if you're someone
Yeah.
like Durant. But looking great, Durant. But yeah, as I said, it's a new team. They were on a bit of a win streak,
Mm-hmm.
but he needs to get back to getting some wins in the playoffs, and which he hasn't done for a little while. So It'd be good
Aiden,
to.
Aiden didn't play too bad. Yeah,
Aiden
he
looked
played.
great. I think they relied on him down the stretch a little bit too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what was the killer was back-to-back threes. They had Kawhi hit two in a row, and then also Gordon, who's a sniper.
Boy, what a
Um,
big that was a great pickup for them as well too.
and just to
What a
throw him
great
into
pickup.
the starting lineup is just just an awesome thing to do.
He's a college vet. He's one of Eddie Cox's good friends as well too. He actually came out here a few years ago, and Eddie hosted his visit. And
Okay.
apparently, he was a great guy, and so it's good to see EG doing his thing. You know, he's been around. He's a solid vet. Beautiful shot, and he can take it to the hole as well too. He's got that stocky body as well. I think he was a Clipper once early in his career too. He was a Clipper.
Yeah, no, he may have been drafted there. I'm not sure, but he was definitely there
Yeah,
in his first early
yeah.
years in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly was, and has always been as time developed, just become one of the best 3-point shooters. Interesting style, but goes in.
You got it.
Just fantastic. So, anything more in the NBA playoffs? Let me just have a look. I don't think there's anything much more to be said. That's how the
Pretty
Western
much it.
Conference.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a really good playoff series for both conferences, and the Nuggets looking pretty good as well. So I don't think we spoke much about them. Their first game, they
It looked really, really good. I think what I like about what I'm seeing with Denver is a healthy, Maga Porter Jr., a
yeah,
healthy looking Jamal Murray, good role player in Aaron Gordon, some good shooting from the outside and a bit of defense with KCP.
best ability is availability.
And then
Can't over,
and they also need a Swiss Army knife when you're a team like that, don't you?
yeah, you do.
And so who's their Swiss Army knife?
Oh, for Nuggets,
Yeah,
I would say it'd be the kid, the guy from played with the Brooklyn Nets. That
yeah,
they picked
yeah.
up.
Bruce Brown. Yeah,
Bruce Brown, yeah, he's the guy.
he can play any position on the floor, man. That's what I like
Yeah,
about him.
he's amazing. He's undersized, but he just does it all, you know.
Yeah. So that's the West how it finished up. Just ignore that. I was getting ready for something some
Mm-hmm.
time ago there, but that's the final Western Conference standings there. I
Yeah,
think I've got your video too, so I might get that up in a second.
okay.
So I might
Yeah.
just stop sharing that screen for a bit. But yeah, so anything else with the plus? Any other notes that you've got there, Andre?
No, NBA wise, no. We've covered. The playoffs is. I've been away. Last couple of weeks visiting my kids down in Melbourne. I have four of my 8 kids living in Melbourne now, and
Four of
so
them.
I had 4 to 8. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Their mom's family lives down there. Shout out to the Taher family, who's East African family, very proud Eritrean family. They all they have. She has lots of cousins and family and brothers and sisters and all that down there. So I've been visiting there. Then I spent another week up in Cape York region
mm.
in one of the Aboriginal communities called Pumpera,
Okay.
which is located about 2 hours north of Cairns.
Okay.
You get to fly to Cairns, um, and then take a little small plane to get into
Mm,
these really remote sort of communities.
mm.
The whole idea behind my visit there was to work with the young people in the area because there's a big issue with alcohol, what they call the sly grog, which we call grog or alcohol grog over here, and there's an issue with um, this grog or alcohol being snuck into the community. These are dry communities that have banned alcohol altogether because of the obvious issues that they bring on, domestic violence, you know, fetal alcohol syndrome, where kids are born very small, so my role is my goal is to go up to work with kids, is to try to break the cycle and show the kids that athletics
Hang
and
on, something's
academics.
going on with this.
Yeah,
Hang on, what's happened here?
yeah.
Hang on. Sorry.
No, don't worry. Yeah.
You're still there?
Can you hear
You
me?
there?
I'm here. I
What's happening?
got some technical difficulties. Hang in there with us, folks.
Hang on a sec. I'll just.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sure.
I'm trying to break the cycle for you guys out there listening. Help the young people learn that staying active,
Yeah.
doing things positive will help break that cycle.
Yeah.
Alcoholism, gambling, all those type of issues that plague our societies, particularly these indigenous communities. Beautiful kids too. I mean, Tim will show you some pictures that I've sent.
Mm.
Some of the people up there,
We'll have a
the
look at
elders.
the. Actually, we'll look. What we'll do is look at the pictures first. I'm not. Hopefully, we got all that sound because I couldn't hear you for about 20
Yeah,
seconds there.
hopefully the people out there heard what I was saying.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that later. But for some reason, I was just trying to pull up one of these that video, and it may have done something with the sound. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out obviously. But let's have a look at some of these pictures first.
Great, great.
Um, let's just
I
have a
can
look
talk you through
at some of these pictures that you sent through.
it. Mm-hmm.
Just let it sort of load up. I'm just going to let it open up first.
No worries.
Uh, and
The place
and
is called, in case people weren't listening, the
okay,
place is Parpara, spelled Porm Pur
okay. See that there now. The
This
photos.
gentleman here, Michael was mine. He's a pretty cool little guy. He's the local guy that looks after the youth there. He was my host for the whole my 2 or 3 days there. He was a great guy. Actually, avid fisherman. You know, he actually we had some fresh seafood up there. You find they say they call the ocean there, the ocean and as well as the bush is their grocery store. You know, this is their so we were able to have some fresh fish up there. I really appreciate his hosting me and being a great ambassador for the area and showing me around. And yeah, Michael's a great guy. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if I got another photo there. Here we go. Let's have a look.
My big feet program is not just about basketball, but this is the council who pretty much were the backers behind my trip. You know, they're the ones that made it happen.
Perfect. That's really nice.
Gentleman on the far left with the Broncos shirt on.
Yeah.
He's the CEO of the council, and these are all the council members who were gracious hosts as well too. The accommodation was outstanding. The blonde lady to my left, Shalina. Yeah, Shalina. She's also played a big part in making it all happen and organizing my trip as well too. Just a great group of people, you know. So this is in the council office here, the CEO's office here as well. So
Mm.
you see that the basketball up top to my far left is a basketball up top there. I signed that. That was a Bunnies basketball. Bunnies has been a great sponsor of the Big Feet program as well too. So shout out to the Bunnies and Bunnies Warehouse and the things that they
Cool.
do. Yeah, so it was great. Lovely
Yes.
people, lovely people.
And we got one more photo there.
Yeah, this is just some of the beautiful kids you can see there, local kids there, and a couple of the parents, kids of all ages. They were quite responded very well to my presence. You know,
Yep.
they had to look up to me, whether they like it or not. They have to look up to me. I'm 6 feet 8 inches tall,
Yeah.
but they took a liking to me from the moment, and vice versa. I'm always enthralled by these kids. They're the most purest, most beautiful, people. They seem like they've been untouched by the ways of Western world. You know, they have a purity about them that is just intoxicating. You know, this is inside their gymnasium that I was able to show them a few things, basketball wise, skill wise, as far as conditioning as well too, and to
Mm.
talk to them about eating healthy and staying away from those things we spoke about earlier, drugs and alcohol and smoking and those type of things. So that's what my whole mission is about.
Rightio.
Using
So
this
we might.
platform,
Do you
yeah,
want us to play this video now?
yeah. This video is really more special because I was able to go around with some people and deliver food to some of
Yep.
the elderly people in the community with their Meals on Wheels program.
Yep.
And particular video here was a lovely lady named Myrna. It was a
Yep.
very special interaction that the two of us had during my time there. So I like to
Let's see
share
if I
this.
can get this video. I'm not sure. Let's see if it hopefully doesn't interfere with the sound like it sort of tried to do last time, but we'll just see how this goes.
No worries, man.
So if for
Trust
some
me.
reason you get muted, that's what happens. But I'll just opening it up.
Well, even if it does get muted, the visuals is really cool
Yep.
as well. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just...
So the lady's name is Myrna here. She was one of the first houses we delivered food to.
Let's have a look here. Okay.
How are you? Oh, there we go. She's visiting from yeah. I got someone here, so.
Can you see that, Andre?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, it's coming good. You get you the video. You can video it. Yeah. Well, that's my little lady friend, Myrna.
And it's already recording.
I think it's recording. Top ears.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So here we go. How are you? Bit of a height difference. Different food, lovely lady. Meals on Wheels. I got a photo of her. What's your name? Right, such so lovely. Such heartwarming stuff. Meals on Wheels, pump rock. Andre Moore, yeah. You meet you? Really? Same name. Bill's here in Pump Rock. Pump Rock. Your family? Yeah. My condolences to the community. There was a loss of the community.
Yep.
He's in a much better place now.
Yeah, it is.
Bill, I was up all night cooking this. When I cook, we actually pray after we eat the food.
Okay, so yeah.
Pray after.
Yeah.
That's it here. Yeah. A little less here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you, huh? All right. It's all right. I'm Andre Moore. The one and only. Right, your grandson. Yeah. A-N-D-R-E. Little accident with me. All right. Meals on Wheels. Take care. Much love.
Oh, that was cool, Andre.
Yeah, it was all about, man. It was really Myrna. She's the most lovely lady. She those are the type of memories, and those are the type of things that make me, make it all worth the while, to be able to use my platform to spread love and give back to the community best I can. So that's why I think guys like, well, I think one particular person in particular for the opportunity to do these type of things. That would be the guy who invented the game of basketball,
John Naismith.
Dr. Naismith. Yeah, we need to show him more love because without his vision in coming up with this game, we wouldn't be in the position to be able to do these type of things and make people put a smile on people's faces. This platform that we have here, being able to talk about the game that we love, So shout out to the Naismith family, Dr. Naismith and his family for the legacy they left behind, Yeah.
No, definitely. It's without basketball, as round basketball, round ball, global world, and it's a global game. It's not called the world. It's I wish it was probably called the world game, but you'd steal it probably from something else. But
it's right there with soccer. Yeah, it's right there.
It's definitely as popular as soccer is when you look at things on a worldwide scale. Obviously, it's huge in Europe now, Australia.
Oh, here in Australia, the numbers the number of the people joining is crazy. The Olympics coming here to Brisbane pretty soon. Less than 9 years from now.
That's getting closer all the time, isn't it?
I know, man. So I've been meeting with people like Sterling Hinchcliffe. Shout out to Sterling about ways that I could get involved with that with the upcoming Olympics as well too here in the
Oh,
city.
good. I mean, if you can get involved in anything to do with that, basketball event or anything, just yeah, it'd be great. I'd think.
I'm more leaning toward archery. I like the archery, man.
No,
Yes,
archery is good. Yeah, no, it's fantastic, mate.
yeah, so it's all. But that was a beautiful visit. Yeah, Pomper was. I had a great time, and hopefully,
mm,
we want. The idea is to try to go back there on a regular basis and not just be.
mm,
A lot of people fly in, celebrities or whatever fly in, and then the kids don't see them for a while.
yeah.
I want to. I've established a rapport with those young people. I want to try
Mm,
to come back on a regular basis and
mm.
keep that sort of rapport going and teach them more and everything. And yeah, hopefully we can make that happen.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, yeah. That sounds great.
I gotta come. We still gotta get
Yeah,
to Queenstown too, man. Yeah, maybe we're gonna talk about that as well too.
we
Gotta get
definitely do. I mean,
Queenstown.
definitely, it's the opportunity beckons. It's got to happen this year, man. It has to happen this
Yeah,
year.
yeah. We'll
We're
make
gonna
it
do it.
happen.
We'll
We'll
make it
talk it
happen.
into existence.
Definitely have to do it, and it's yeah. Obviously, get past. I mean, they were talking about. I don't know if you know much about the New Zealand NBL league. New Zealand have got like an NBL as well.
Yeah, they've had it for a while, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're getting a team in Queenstown, or they're trying to get a team down in Queenstown.
Oh, okay. What's the population of Queenstown? What's your
Well,
population?
we've only got a small population. It's only 20 something thousand people that live here permanently.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of people that don't live here permanently that come in and out. A lot of
Okay.
tourists.
Transient population.
And then a lot of migrant. You'll get visas for 1-2 years and then go back to England, go back to South America, wherever they came from.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of that as well. Whether they include that in the population, they usually probably don't. But they're looking at trying to get this stadium sorted out for it. They're not going to. It's not going to be ready for next year. I think it'll be the 2025. I believe the team will probably be ready to go. I think.
All right. They have an existing place there now for the guys for big events.
There is an event center. There's a new Queenstown have got an event center. That's where I think they'd be looking at doing it. They just need to reseat it and get you need to have a minimum like 4,000 or 5,000 seats or something. You need to have like a certain number minimum. Like where the Brisbane play, what's the capacity there at Nissan?
So it's about around the 5,000-6,000.
Yeah, so but even in New Zealand, like a NBL league in New Zealand, even though it's a smaller league than the Australian NBL, you still need 3,000 seats, or there'd be some sort of requirement where they need to go back and revisit that. They've been approved for a team here, so it will happen, and it's obviously a great place to lots of things to do here, party, tourist stuff, go out on the boat.
You got me a party. You had me a party, so they would leave it at that.
Yeah, you'd stick out pretty well, and a lot of people would go, "Oh, who's this guy? Who's he?"
You see many big brothers walking around Queenstown?
No, not too many. Not too many. I mean, not a lot, to be honest. But you do get a lot of Americans.
I'm bringing a little color to the place when I come there. Bring a little color.
There is a bit of variety. There's definitely variety here, but yeah, definitely that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, the NBL one. I also want to mention the NBL one here and how the NBL is just taking on that league and it's doing really well. It's a league right below the NBL, and man, fantastic talent in that competition. A lot of NBL guys, a lot of up and coming NBL players. My son Archie, who's he's playing for the Southwest Pirates at the moment, and they're going okay. Well, they're struggling a little bit. Actually, struggling a bit, but it's only early days. They're only played 3 or 4 games, but really proud of him that he's back in the league. On that note, I'd like to shout out my daughter, Gemma, who's just turned 31 recently, April 1st. My daughter Mona, my son. Got all these kids. Bear with me here. My son Jalen.
Yep.
Tariq, Josephine, and Cammy.
Okay.
That's everybody. That's 8 people right there. I think at this day, 8 people. Yeah. Shout out to them and both their moms and my mom over in the States. who's gonna watch this telecast at some stage. And my boy Philip and Brenda, my best buddy Philip and Brenda, who in the States as well too. So shout out to them as well too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the first podcast we've done in a while. So I really thank you. Obviously, getting back to it, and
Appreciate you having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Midlife crisis begins for me. I've got a bit of I've got to go to a Rotary meeting tonight, and what I'm down for on my birthday, it's my turn to do a 3-minute speech.
Right. Oh, yeah, happy birthday to you as well, too. What's your birthday? When's your birthday again? Is it
Today.
Today, happy birthday, oh man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. That's the iconic birthday song by Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder actually sang that song from my then wife Nadia years ago. We went to a concert. He sang the iconic version while we were doing a meet and greet with him. Yeah, but happy birthday, my man. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't pick up on the midlife crisis, man.
Yeah. I've been doing jiu-jitsu. I don't know if I think I told you I've been doing jiu-jitsu. I got out of bed at 5 this morning and went to a jiu-jitsu class.
Okay.
There's a new guy that turned up today from Argentina, actually. So he hadn't had much experience. And one good thing when I go to these jiu-jitsu classes, Andre, is I always have you're a big fella, you're a big guy, but I've got a big sort of weight advantage on all these people at the jiu-jitsu gym. So there aren't too many that are 100 kgs at the jiu-jitsu gym. So so basically most of them are about 70, 65, 70, 75, 85, 90 kilos. So you've always got a bit of power advantage. So when I get on top of these guys, they don't fucking get me off, mate. They don't get me off. And
I heard that, man.
This new guy from fucking Argentina was just trying to buck me the whole fucking time.
Was it really? Oh, it's good fun though. Good discipline, huh?
Yeah, I finally let him. I think we had like a 5-minute sparring session, and then I think the last 5 or 10 seconds I said, fuck, let him get on top." So
Speaking of martial arts,
yeah.
Do you know what? Fun fact. Do you know what Bruce Lee's favorite drink is?
Drink? No. What?
Favorite drink, Bruce Lee, the great Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
What's
What?
That's his favorite drink, apparently. Yeah.
No, man. Okay, man. It's been great. I think we might wrap things up. Actually, I've got a few.
Yeah. It's been great, man. Really appreciate being on board.
We'll catch up in probably a few weeks.
Birthday.
Few weeks time. I'm back from about the 8th to the 19th of May. So.
Okay. Yeah, we'll catch up.
Catch up
as per usual. The mustard and catch up. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm not sure what's on. I'll have to have a look. I think there's a charity golf game I'm probably down for, but that's about. You ever played golf before?
I play it every because I'm such a superior athlete. Whenever I do play, I usually make some pretty good shots. Just a natural feel for game and adjusting to different games and all that. So I may play every few years or so, but I enjoy it. I prefer what they call Ambrose, where you play.
Well, that is it. So I'm trying to get my team of 4 together at the moment, actually. So if you are free on the Thursday, the 11th, I think it is.
I'll be here in Australia.
Royal Queensland. Yeah.
Hey, put me down, man. I'm down, man.
Okay, put you down.
I'm down like 4 flat tires.
Okay, you haven't played for a couple of years, but that doesn't matter.
I'll be all right. I'm telling you, I will be good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
You can tonk it. You can hit it long anyway. That's we need
more importantly, we'll be able to get the what do you call it? Where you get to meet people. Meet people.
Yeah, no, it's good. Okay, done.
Networking. Yeah, networking.
So put that in your calendar on Thursday the 11th.
Okay, cool. 11th of next month.
Yeah.
May 11th, right? Okay.
Yeah. So I think
my favorite day in May is May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Right, good to see you, man. I'll let you know about that. It sounds good, but that does sound good, and it's going to be a good day. I haven't been to play at that course for a few years, so it'd be good.
All right, I'm down, man. I'm putting my diary. I got my diary right here. Always got it with me.
Yep. So 11 from in the afternoon. I think it's sort of 11 to 12 sort of start. I think it's usually a lunch and a dinner afterwards. So
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, dinner.
yeah.
Yes, I'm definitely dinner.
So
Yeah,
no worry about anything. We got the things all covered, so all good.
May 11th. Cool.
Okay,
Thank
mate.
you. Thank you to all our viewers out there as well too.
No worries. We'll share it around. We'll get it uploaded today.
Sounds good. Great. Peace. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, man. Happy birthday again. Yeah.
You too, man. See ya.